We're here with Maurice Harker, and he has just implemented this awesome program that I am so excited about, and I've talked to lots of moms that are getting really excited about it too, and it's called Frontline Warriors for Remissionaries.
We need to clarify, it was more my wife's inspiration because it was April General Conference. Those first few talks in the April 2022 were about this missionary mindset. I was having my normal average amount of revelation, and I look over and my wife's all, and I'm all, oh dear. People get scared when I have ideas, but I get scared when she has ideas. But let's say scared like unto excited scared, like this is going to be cool. The background behind this is that we are pleased with where we get the young men to as they finish Sons of Helaman, but there are two things we wanted to really impact. One of them was the more passion or intensity on the growth of their preparations, specifically towards missionary prep, the less likely they are also to relapse. But we just started describing, not what is a young man like, but what is a young man like who steps into the MTC already like the most advanced. You got the mediocre guys who get hooked onto his momentum. They're like, holy cow, I thought feeling the spirit meant sitting next to a matchbox and being warmed by that. This guy's a scout camp bonfire or something going on. And what do you want it to be like when we're done? It is already elite to even become a graduate and wear one of those coveted titanium rings that those Sons of Helaman wear. But then they kind of are floating a little bit with a lack of momentum. And so Frontline Warriors is designed to pick them up right there. Now, I get to use a different part of my personality in Frontline Warriors that no one's seen yet.
Oh,
okay?
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah. When you get to step in and every athlete that walks onto your wrestling mat is already decently trained and has extremely high expectations of himself, there is no coddling. There is no, please, can you just stay motivated? We just had our first training session and the handful of guys that are already enrolled came in, and I'm all, just so you know, this is not going to be fun. I just want to make sure everybody knows.
And everybody's like,
wait, what? I'm all, we have fun half the time in Sons of Helaman. A good Sons of Helaman meeting is about half fun, half focus, so no one gets too overwhelmed. And so they walk in, and it's an hour-and-a-half meeting. There's a few main focuses. First thing, revision to the manpower chart. The M square in Sons of Helaman is minister. The M square in Frontline Warriors is memorize. They are required to memorize one verse, one scripture or powerful quote per day. I'm expecting most people to want to give up. In sports, we do it with two-a-days at the beginning of the season. Okay? I want to be on the wrestling team. Okay, two-a-days. I don't want to be on the wrestling team. Okay. And the veterans are all like, dude, really? This is normal. This is what we do here. It's hard, but we're all used to hard work. So we're not just telling them you have to memorize. We're going to teach them the technique and the method of memorizing. I memorized 450 verses 9 months as a missionary, and I can still access those by the way I memorized them and rememorized and rememorized. And so I can pull them up as needed so I don't have to open the scriptures to do cross-referencing. That's what we want their brains to be able to do. The A square is now going to be called acclaim. Acclaim is a word in the thesaurus.
I have to say, when I first read that, I remember that was the one that I was like, acclaim?
It means conveniently to declare, to share, to throw a concept out there. So we're going to dovetail on the first one. Once they get a quote for the day, whether they fully memorize it or not, in order to get their A square, they have to share it with one or more people. He acclaimed it to his mother by walking up to her and said, murmur, 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 and the mom's all, I love that. I don't even really know what it means. But it's any effort made to share. Now, for those of you who are visionary, I want you to imagine a dozen young men who once a day share this with 1 or 500 people. The N square is one that mothers really like. This is the new life skill. First one on the list, and they are kind of incremental, is bedtime habits. You guys are all, what? Because we got laundry on there, we got brushing your teeth, we got cleaning a toilet. Everything that a mother wish her son could do when he goes on his mission, where a man figure would teach it to him instead of his mother.
How powerful is that for somebody else that isn't the mother?
Second witness.
To just say, from a man, this is what we do.
One of the fastest ways you can convince your mom that you're a man is that you go to bed on your curfew and you wake up to an alarm that she did not set.
That's
Okay? It's fascinating.
That is impressive.
It's very impressive. Mom's all, where are you going to bed? Why? It's like 10:30 and you are not in high school anymore. And like, I scheduled myself to be in bed so that I get up at 6:30 according to my schedule I've created.
I have a routine. And the mom speechless.
Yeah.
And just floating for a week. Yeah, you're like, oh wow, just let that happen.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess that up one bit.
I'm not even gonna say, and what do you do? I'm just gonna say yes.
And she's got bacon cooking just in case he actually gets out of bed. That's just an example. So the end square, we're going to be reviewing and strategizing how to live up to these things. Then we have power prayers, which are different than regular prayers.
So that's the piece.
The P.
Okay.
Now they're going to be refining a written prayer, and they're going to review it and revise it and recommit to it. Review, revise, recommit. As they gain further knowledge, they're going to be adding elements to it that has all the most important lines that are important to them.
Say, what an inspired way to just really find a foundation for your values, right? Like, this is who I am. This is what I want to become.
It really helps as they separate themselves from their family of origin so that they're not just pulling away, they're pulling toward an identity that they are the ones that are there creating. The more they describe what they're hoping for in their relationship with God, the more it gives them direction to go toward as opposed to just getting away from parents.
That's one of the coolest things I've learned here writing is just, you know what? If I ask my brain to come up with what I'm going to say and write it, something powerful happens. I say such smarter things.
We all do.
Right?
We all do. When I'm typing, I'm all, that's cool. That's right.
Did you just think of that?
Did you? Who's been messing with my keyboard?
Yeah.
In here, I would have got a B minus.
Yes, and out just coming right out my mouth, I would have got
C minus.
Yeah, but just man, I was just this morning I was doing that and just thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe I just wrote that. Something about our will slows down and the Spirit comes in and instructs us, not just like, you'll never think of this, but you're thinking of this. This is coming from you, being enhanced by the Spirit in this edifying way that says, this is who you are.
So now the reading square is what gets interesting again. Foundation behind it comes from an interaction I had with God in my early 20s, where I was really trying to be smart and inspired. God can speak in Spanish, German, and French. Apparently, my language is sarcasm, so it's not uncommon that he's a little edgy, and others are like, he's always nice to me. And so I'm having this agitated conversation with God going, you can see that I'm sincerely trying to understand this concept and I'm trying to pray, but I'm thinking about it. And he's all, I'm watching you. And you're not being very generous with your revelations as far as I would like and would be helpful. He's all, Maurice, watching you work with the ideas in your head is like watching a child play with 10 Legos. He says, you need to have more Legos. I can't do much with you if you only have 10 Lego. And I'm all, what does that mean? He says, it means you have to add more ideas to your brain. And I'm all, how do you do that? And he's all, books. You read. No, but I don't like to read. He's all, then enjoy your 10 Legos. I've chosen 12 of the best books I've read in my life, and they have 16 weeks to read all 12 books.
I mean, I could not do that reading, but with an audiobook, there's a possibility I could do that.
Some people do better when they read an actual book and they go through it faster because they can read faster than I can. I'm a slow reader. But I can do an audiobook while I'm riding my bike or while I'm folding laundry or while I'm even watching football. I don't care what the announcer has to say. I can see what happened with my own eyes. I listen to a book. This is the foundation of the Frontline Warriors class. The way it's going to work is we're going to be having 16 main focuses that are designed to be rotatable, meaning you don't start on the first week and go all the way through it. You join at any time. At this point, it's for Sons of Healing graduates that are pre-missionaries. We may open that up at some point to include the young women because there's no conversation about sexuality. There's nothing about misbehaviors taking place here. I might open it up to those who are pre-graduates of Sons of Healing. If you're a mom and you really think that your son would be engaged and motivated, then you're welcome to set up a 30-minute consultation with me on my You Can Book Me, and then I will consider it. You're asking me to let him into the Green Beret training, so he might cry a lot after every training. That is so hard!
I don't want to do wrestling.
I don't want to do This is harder than I thought it was going to be. We've made it extremely not expensive. Less than probably just about a third of what Sons of Helaman is. They're going to be teamed up with fellow warriors. They're going to create this long-term bond. A little bonus elements of it. When one leaves on his mission, they're going to stay on the mailing list of those who are participating. So we're going to stay in contact with them during their mission, saying this is what it's like. This is the parts you really should focus on in training. So when they come home from their missions, they can come back and be senior companions to the new guys. Our prediction is, as these guys go through it 3 times, he is going to enter the missionary training center with such a flame, and then the mission field, and he's going to be assistant to the president on week 2. President's we're skipping your training. Anyway, any questions or thoughts?
Does a mom even have a role in this?
Not much. The goal is to empower him to function at a high level without you on his mission, okay? We need him to fail. We need him to find his weak spots. If you're the motivator, that's not gonna help. We need you to not be the reminder. There will be an accountability element to it, where they're accountable to their fellow warriors. So you are welcome to celebrate. You're welcome to cheer. You're welcome to be a student. I have no problem if you go, what are you learning? But not, what are you learning? That would be like me trying to coach my daughter on dancing. Just celebrate.
Is there like a hotline that we could call if they start crying? Because
They'll be fine.
Some of them will cry.
They'll be fine. I remember as a missionary the importance of crying and only having one hotline to call and calling up God and saying, are you even paying attention? That was better than any hotline.
We're just facing him in the right direction and teaching them how to go find him in a really significant way. We're doing his work with him.
It's gonna be fun. Frontline Warriors, check it out.